Hey, what is up, you guys? It's me, Sam Nova198 again. Today, I'm here to discuss my thoughts and opinions on the 2025 Game Awards and the nominations for the awards. And let me just, before I get into this, I'm not going to go through every single category like I did previous years like I did in 2020 and 2023, but this year was honestly, I wanted to talk about it because I feel like this year has become kind of the big year for video game nominations, because a lot of people have been discussing their thoughts and opinions on the awards. Some people really agree with them, some people do not, and there's been a lot of criticism, and a lot of people are really pissed off for the awards show this year. Now, for me, in my opinion on the Game Awards, I thought last year, I didn't watch the award show last year, mostly because I was kind of burned out by video games last year, and there just wasn't a lot I really wanted to play at the time, and I wanted to do other things like watch more movies, get out more, and I don't know. I just wasn't really in the mood for video games last year. It's not that I hate video games, just last year was kind of a disappointment, but this year, it's been the exact opposite. There are a ton of nominations, and a lot of people are openly discussing their feelings on the Game of the Year awards, and a lot of people have been discussing their feelings. Some people are happy, some people are very pissed off, and some people are just ripping into a few games. It's honestly kind of surprising. So, anyways, before I even get into the Game Award nominations, I just want to say, this is not my top 10 favorite games of the year. I'm going to do that in another time. I still have a ton of games I need to play. Like, example, I'm playing through Silent Hill F right now. I'm almost done that. Hopefully by the time you see this video, I will be done Silent Hill F, but we'll have to wait and see. So, but yeah, and I do have other games, like Death Stranding 1. I need to beat Death Stranding 1 before I play Death Stranding 2. I do want to beat Hollow Knight 1 before I play Silk Song. Hades I'll play whenever, because I'm not the biggest fan of Hades. I like Hades. I just suck at roguelikes and roguelites. And then Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is another case. I will play that whenever I get the chance. Not that it's a bad game. I actually picked it up for Black Friday this year, so because it was only $30. So, anyways, let's get into the nominees for Game of the Year. Now, there's going to be a lot of opinions here, but the nominees for Game of the Year are Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So those are the 6 nominations for Game of the Year, and a lot of people are pretty mixed on what they're rooting for. I've heard a lot of people are rooting for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Some people are rooting for Death Stranding 2, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song. Some people are rooting for Donkey Kong Bonanza. But the one thing I think everybody is rooting for is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Or, not Kingdom Come, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 was the one game, I think, that came out of nowhere for me this year. It came out, I saw a lot of people talking about it. At first I was like, I'll try it out, I might like it. And from the moment it started, I just knew this was something special. It is an absolutely incredible game. It's one of my favorite games of this generation, and maybe one of my favorite games of all time, if I'm being completely honest. One sec. Gotta have a Coke. So yeah, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is actually the most nominated game in the Game Awards history. It has 12 nominations as of right now, and it was nominated for Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Game Direction, Best Story. It was nominated for a ton, like Best Music, Best Debut Indie Game, and Best Indie Game, which I was like, Clair Obscur is an indie game? I always thought it was a AA game. It was a smaller budgeted game, but I guess it was done. I guess it kind of counts as an indie game. I don't know. But yeah, it's gotten a ton of nominations, and a lot of people have been very, I feel like it's unwarranted just hating on the game randomly. Someone called it the solo leveling of video games. I'm like, I have not watched Solo Leveling, but people say, oh, it's mediocre, it's terrible. I'm like, shut up, that game is amazing. Some people probably didn't even play it. Like, I have heard the dumbest takes ever for the hatred for that game. And yes, the fan base can be a little toxic. I'm not even gonna lie. Fan base is pretty toxic for that game at some points. Like, I'm gonna be real. If any of the games in that category win and Clair Obscur loses, that's fine. I'm a huge fan of Clair Obscur, but I'm not gonna act like a pompous douche to everybody who doesn't have votes for the same game. But yeah, Clair Obscur is still my game of the year. I love Clair Obscur. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But but I feel like people acting like it was the only great game to release this year is kind of lying out of their ass. Like, seriously, like, games like, Donkey Kong Bonanza and Death Stranding 2 I've heard is incredible. Hell, I even really loved Ghost of Yotei. But a lot of people just seem to hate on it because I guess it's popular. The fan base can be a little toxic. But yeah, Clair Obscur for me is my game of the year. Come at me. I love that game. But there were other games that came out that I did vote for. So in case you're wondering what I voted for, I'm going to go through my list. For Game of the Year, obviously, Clair Obscur. For Best Narrative, Clair Obscur. Best Music, I'm going to butcher this, Lorraine Distard for Clair Obscur. And Ben Starr for his performance of Clair Obscur. God, this is now, some of these games I need to play still, but I feel like there are games that have, like for example, Games for Impact. I didn't play a single nomination in that category. I just, like, sometimes I'll pick a random game. I picked South of Midnight for that one. I do want to play South of Midnight. And then Best Community Support, I went with Baldur's Gate 3 because they've kept that game. A lot of people say, like, the game is keeps getting better and better with updates. I think they had their last update this year. Now, for Best Debut Indie Game, I went with Dispatch because everybody was talking about that game, like, a lot this year. I have friends of mine I work with, and they're like, dude, it's so good. You need to play it. And I'm going to play it soon when I'm done Silent Hill F. Hopefully I'll have that done by the time Silent Hill F by the time the Game Awards happens. Dispatch, I don't know when I'm going to have that game done. But yeah, next up, VR. I really want to try out Alien Rogue Incursion. It actually looks pretty cool. Best Action Adventure Game, gonna be real. I picked Ghost of Yotei. I had a lot of fun with that game. There was also Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, but I went with Ghost of Yotei. For Best Fighting Game, it was a pretty mid-year for fighting games. I just went with the Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Pretty good collection of fighting games. Best Sim Strategy Game, Final Fantasy Tactics. This is another one I do want to play through, but it looks amazing from what I've seen of it. It looks really fun. And then Best Multiplayer. This is kind of a weird one for me because I didn't really play that much besides Marvel Rivals this year. But I went with Peak because it was the one I think that had a lot of people talking and a lot of people were discussing it. Most anticipated game, I went with Marvel's Wolverine. It was kind of torn because I feel like GTA 6 won one award. It'll win the second one, but who knows. Esports, I just picked random stuff for that. If you want to look through it, I'll pull up the voting card at the end. Now, Best Game Direction, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And then Best Art Direction. I'm going to be real. I do really want to play Hollow Knight Silksong. From what I've seen of that game, the art direction is beautiful. Some of the best I've seen in a long time, and I really do want to try that out. Now, Best Audio Design, I picked Silent Hill F. The sound design of that game is immaculate. I didn't play Battlefield 6 and a couple others, but the sound design in that game is honestly top-notch. It's very disturbing, and especially when you get to the, I don't know which section it was, but it was like if you played the game, the dismemberment scene, that's what I will say. And for Best Innovation and Accessibility, Doom the Dark Ages, you can pretty much make that game exactly the way you want it when it comes to the gameplay and combat. For Best Ongoing Game, I went with Marvel Rivals. That game sucked up a lot of my time. Best Mobile Game, I went with Uma Musume, Pretty Derby. And now this is funny because I have friends, like, when I was hanging out with some buddies a little while ago, and they were playing the game. It's like a horse gacha game. They were playing that game nonstop, and I know friends that still do. I think it's funny that a horse gacha game is like the best mobile games. I was like, screw it, I'm going with Uma Musume. And then Best Action Game, Shinobi Art of Vengeance. If you've not played that game, play it. It's awesome. One of my favorite action games of the year. Has elements of like combat and hack and slash mixed with Metroidvania. Always love that. And then Best RPG, of course, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Best Family, I went Donkey Kong Bonanza. Best Sports and Racing Game, I was kind of tied because I bought Sonic Cross Worlds. I started playing it. I don't have that much time put into Sonic Cross Worlds, but I played more Mario Kart World. And I want to be real, I like Sonic Cross Worlds a little bit more from what I've played, but I still got to play more of it before I really can say which is better. But Mario Kart World, it's very fun. It's a little bare bones, but it's still pretty fun. And then Best Adaptation, this one, this category confused the ever-loving shit out of me. I'm going to be real. Why was Sonic 3 not nominated? Like, seriously. Sonic 3 is maybe the best video game adaptation ever made, and it didn't even get a single nomination for best adaptation. I'm like, but the nominations I heard, none of them were that good. Besides, I've heard the Splinter Cell show was actually really good, but everything I've heard of that list is either mediocre or just straight up dog shit. Like, a Minecraft movie got nominated. Are you fucking kidding me? You nominated a Minecraft movie? Like, Christ's sakes. I get the memes, but the crowds for that movie are absolute fucking toxicity. I actually had to walk out of the Minecraft movie because my audience was so bad. And then Devil May Cry, I've heard nothing but bad things about that. I do want to watch Splinter Cell Death Watch. I've heard it's very good. But then The Last of Us Season 2, I had no desire to watch. And then Until Dawn, which I did watch. And that movie sucked balls. I fucking hated that movie. Like, I know I said my first impressions, I thought it was mediocre. The more time went on, the more I hated that movie. That Until Dawn is a garbage horror film. There's a few bright spots, but it should not have been called Until Dawn. So yeah, the best adaptation then, the final award I'm going to talk about is Content Creator of the Year. I went with Critical, Moist Critical, because honestly, I love him. He's great. He's really fun. He's a really funny YouTuber, and I just love his content. So yeah, so those, I guess, were my thoughts, and I feel like everything that was nominated here, there were some snubs. Like, one snub I feel like I'm going to point to that was Chronos the New Dawn. I thought that was actually a lot of people liked that game, so maybe just it came out at the wrong time. It came out like 3 weeks before Silent Hill F. Maybe that's why it didn't get nominated. I don't know. But yeah, overall, I think the nominations this year were pretty fair. There was no crazy, like, DLC thing. I think they listened to the crowds and they said, yeah, don't ever nominate a DLC again. But those are my thoughts on the Game of the Year awards. What are you guys rooting for to win this year, and what do you think will win the coveted Game of the Year award? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. For me, my Game of the Year is Clair Obscur, so hopefully it wins Game of the Year, but you never know. Anyways, that will conclude this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry for going off on a bit of a tangent and kind of a rant at some points with the nominations. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments what your favorite games of the year are, and I will see you guys next time, and goodbye.